Good morning, good evening, good night, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your nighttime, right time DJ, DJ Music, here with another music rant. Here we go, folks. As you see on the screen right there in front of you, fatal force. 933 people have been killed by the police. Now, that statistic itself should stand out to you. But what you don't see here of these 933 people, every one of them was unarmed. Every one of them was unarmed. So far, you haven't heard me say anything about color. That's just 933 people in 2019 that lost their life because they had an encounter with the police. That was the only thing that was wrong with them, that they got bullet holes in them now because they ran into the police. Whether they did something to bring the police to their door, or in the case of Tatiana Ali, somebody calls for a health and welfare check, but she ends up getting shot anyway. It's like this 45-year-old woman that the policeman lived in the very neighborhood of this woman, so he knew her. He lived in the same complex as this woman, so he knew her. He knew that she was a bit touched, as they say. He knew she had some mental problems. In Baytown, Texas, I think that's where it is, Baytown, Texas, that he saw this woman, said they figured that, okay, this is a good time to catch her because she got some outstanding warrants, tased her first. When she fell to the ground, as the police reports, because we haven't seen his body cam footage yet, as the police report that she took the taser from him and started tasing him, and he killed the woman, shot the woman 5 or 6 times. Well, again, I'm going to show you that video and you make your own determination of what happened. All I know is the woman was unarmed. And he didn't have to shoot her to kill. He could have shot to maim. He could have shot to some warning shots. Hey, turn loose the taser, I'm going to put these bullets in your ass. But instead, just like in all other encounters with the police, they shoot us first and then deal with the consequences of it later on. It's bottom line to it, folks. Now, I'm going to go to another statistic right quick, because people always want to throw at you, well, the police kill white people too. Yeah, they do. But again, folks, listen to this. Of all the people that were killed in 2019, 70 now, 70 of those people were black, men, women, and children. So that makes up about 25, 26 to 30% of the people that was killed during 2019. We as blacks only make up 13% of the population. Does anybody see anything wrong with that yet? Do the numbers add up to you yet? How does 13% of the population lead the police charge when they come shooting us? How does Dylan Roof go into a church, shoot 9 unarmed people, and get escorted to a car? Fed at Burger King. These are the questions I don't ask, folks. These are the questions that every person in America should be asking. Why aren't these police being held accountable for the stuff that they do, for the killings that they do, for the murders that they commit? You had Botham Jean sitting on his couch in his house eating ice cream. Amber Geiger comes in there, pretty much ambushes him, kills him. And at the end of it, she's found guilty, and the judge gonna hug the woman like, oh, I'm sorry that you killed the man. But no one saw anything wrong with that. Now, let's slide a little farther down here. These little blocks represent the 933 people that were killed. Imagine if you had bricks and stacked these up side by side or on top of each other. How tall would that structure be? In 2018, 992 people was shot and killed by the police. And still people in this country think that there is not a problem with the police, when there definitely is. Again, they come to our communities, shoot first, ask questions later. Let me pause this, and I'm going to bring you some more statistics, all right? More statistics. 70 black men and boys killed by the police. Here we go. Let's look at some of these faces. And this is actually updated today at 8:49 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is the newest poll out. Well, this is the newest amount of statistics gathered on police killing unarmed black men and boys. Here we go. Kwame KK Jones, age 17. Devon Bailey, age 19. Christopher Whitfield, age 31. Anthony Hill, age 26. Devon Bailey, age 19. Eric Logan, age 54. Jamarion Robinson, age 26. And I want you to pay attention to this particular one, folks. Jamarion Robinson, age 26. He was shot by the Georgia policeman in 2016, in August of 2016, right? He was shot 76 times after refusing to open the door of his girlfriend's home when the officers knocked. Police then kicked in the door and began firing. 76 times. Number 8, Gregory Hill Jr. at 30. Javavion Staten, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, at age 20. Ryan, age 24, holding his child. Brandon Weber, age 20. Jimmy Atchison, age 21. Willie McCoy, age 20. E.J. Fitzgerald Bradford Jr., 21. I think this is the young man here that was in a mall trying to save other people, but end up giving his life. Yeah, he was in the Alabama mall trying to save other people's life, trying to apprehend the actual person, the white person that was in there shooting folks, and the police came in there and shot him like he was the criminal. Dietrich Griffin, age 18. Jamel Robinson, age 26. Andre Ballard, age 23. A lot of these guys, do they look like criminals? Botham Jean, 26. Anthony Lamar Smith, 24. Ramarley Graham, 18. Manuel Logans Jr., age 31. Need I go more? Need I go on, folks, of all the folks that's been killed by the police? Can you get that? Can you swing that through your head? Now, as I said, we make up 13% of the population. But the statistics say that 1 out of 10 black men that are encountered by the police ends up in his death. Gonna pause that right there while you think about that. 1 out of 10. That means if I go and got 9 other black men and put us all in the same room, and if the police came in there, one of us would be dead. Let me pause this. And we're back, folks. As you'll see right here, Gail from one of the CBS morning talk shows, Gail, Oprah Winfrey's friend. Got my own problems with her anyway. But as you can see in the headline out there, video shows deadly police shooting of a Texas woman who claims she was pregnant. What's the key word in that, folks? Claimed. Why didn't it just say that she said she was pregnant? Why do people use that word claimed? That means that you might not be telling the truth. But, and it comes down to saving your life as a woman, isn't that one of your defense mechanisms? I'm pregnant, don't hit me. I'm pregnant, don't shoot me. Not to say that's wrong, But if you're trying to get somebody off you, the mere fact that someone thinking that you're carrying another life inside of you sometimes is enough. Now, what you're going to see is quite graphic, folks. When I say graphic, I mean quite graphic. Here we go.
Begins as the officer confronts the woman. As she moves away from the Baytown officer, he pulls out his taser and fires. The woman continues to struggle with...
Now, I'm sorry I had to pause that right there. But as you heard the woman say, "Why are you harassing me? You're harassing me." And not long after that, he pulls out a taser. The police escalated the situation, but they're trying to exonerate him because they said she took a hold of his taser. That's like taking a knife to a gunfight, folks. Now, if I know anything about a taser, not unless it's one of those handheld ones where you actually have to make contact with the skin in order for it to work. Most police use the taser that shoots out those little rods and those little hooks that hit you and lands in embeds itself in your skin, and then they hold the trigger until it can subdue you. So whether she took a hold of his taser or not, it wasn't an effective weapon against trying to stop this policeman from shooting her. Look for yourself.
The officer as she falls to the ground, at one point telling him she's pregnant. She then, according to police, gains control of the officer's taser, turning it on him. That's when he fires his gun at the woman 5 times. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Heard the gun.
She was pronounced dead at the scene. You heard those shots, folks. He couldn't have shot her once. He couldn't have shot her in the leg. The woman was on the ground. And once he stepped back, why didn't he step farther enough back to where the taser would not have affected him? He knew this woman, folks. This was not a woman that was strange to him. They lived in the same complex. He had almost daily contact with this woman. And why you want to know why I know that? Because they say this in this video. Here, listen for yourself.
Shots, and then all of a sudden I heard the ambulance.
I never seen anything like this. After 5 years staying here.
Witnesses who saw the woman frequently walking her dog in the area say they believe she may have had mental issues.
Sometimes you would see her, get into it with people around the apartment. Just typical her. She's not a bad person. She didn't hurt nobody.
Investigators say the officer was out doing a routine patrol when he got out of his car to approach the woman. Lieutenant Steve Doris of the Baytown Police Department says a preliminary investigation found it was necessary for the officer to use deadly force.
Our officer got tased with his own taser. If somebody's tasing you with takes your taser away from you and starts tasing you, there's a very good likelihood that it's going to escalate and get very, very bad for the officer from there.
A witness also said the officer lives in the same complex. Police say the officer was wearing a body camera, but that video will not be released yet. The district attorney's office is investigating the shooting along with the Baytown police, and that officer is now on 3 days leave, according to policy.
Let me pause that right there. Well, he was on 3 days paid leave. Let's make sure we get that out there. Okay? He was on 3 days paid leave, but he's now back on the job. Yes, he is. He's now back to work. And how do I know? Here we go. And just for you folks that don't know, after the 3 days of administrative paid leave, that officer that killed that woman is now back on the force doing what he normally does. But what gets me is it's always Well, the police officer's life was in jeopardy. They didn't think that about Dylan Roof, who just killed somebody, who just killed 9 people. They didn't shoot him up when they saw him.